everyone, and welcome to the Double Stuff Podcast. I'm Charity.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Alan.
And I'm Dan.
And we are double the hosts, double the topics, and double the fun. And today, we are actually answering a question that was proposed on the Twitter page Podcast Movement. Earlier, they had asked what your podcast would be if it were a movie. I believe. Is that the correct way? Did I say that?
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Sarah?
It's like if our podcast was a movie, like what would it be about, and and you know what actors would portray us and stuff like that.
So to answer that question, I know I was looking at movies that are famous for having like just 4 people. But oddly enough, the first thing that came to my mind was The Breakfast Club because we gave ourselves those nicknames in season 1.
The nicknames we haven't stuck with aside from Just
I
Dan.
know we need to bring those back up. Yeah, Just Dan has for some reason.
Well, my
stuck
nickname
around.
speaks for itself. So
Yeah, so we don't need to say.
It means nothing at this point.
Actually, speak louder than words because you were talking about swaying axes and stuff in the previous episode.
Lumberjack Allen.
But I was looking up movies that are famous for having 4 people or 4 main stars. So you've got like The Wizard of Oz, Little Women, the Beatles were in the movies. There's 4 main girls and Mean Girls, Ninja Turtles, Fantastic Four, Ghostbusters, and the A-Team, just to name a few.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
So-
does that mean I'm Hannibal?
Well,
I would totally
I
be
was actually
Hannibal.
going to start with the A-Team. Funny enough, I picked you as Hannibal, but I couldn't figure out who the next 3 would be. So have you guys all seen the A-Team, the movie or the series?
Yeah.
Okay. So who do you think
I'm
each
Face.
character would be? Your face? Okay. You just snagged that real quick.
What kind of face though? I mean, because I look at Alan's face, I'm like, oh yeah, Templeton Peck.
I was gonna say here, I'll give you who I picked. I had Sarah as Hannibal.
Mhm.
Murdoch actually
love
had
Murdoch.
as Alan.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I was hoping Murdoch would be Dan. Actually,
I love Murdoch.
See, like I couldn't do it because Alan is goofier than Dan just by personality. And then so I was BA. I'm sure that's a surprise to everyone.
BA.
Which left face for Dan. But I
That's
don't know.
fine. I'll
Do you
take
guys
Murdoch.
disagree or agree, or do we want to fight this out?
I had Murdoch as an action figure growing up.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
and
fun.
his head would detach.
Ah,
and I would-
wait, what?
Yeah, it was just
I mean,
a
I guess that
soft
goes for
plastic
Murdoch.
head, and you could pop it off, and then you could put it on his hand, and then he looked like some sort of weird
Are you
alien.
sure this was the 18?
It was the 80. Yeah, I loved it.
I don't
well, you
remember
weren't
this
supposed.
episode.
This was not manufacturer
I was
recommended.
gonna say, it's like, are you sure that's the way the
No.
character was supposed to be?
No,
I don't remember that episode where he takes his head off,
Takes his head off and
put it
swings
in his
it
hand,
around.
start punching people.
I had a vivid imagination. Still do.
Okay, so what would you guys say? We'll start with the A-Team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so those were mine. Do you
Yeah.
agree, disagree, or do you want to pick out a different person?
No, I can't argue with those.
That's because you got face. That's why.
I can't argue with being the handsome,
The handsome one
sexy
that
decoy.
has
Yeah.
all the women.
Murdoch was a little crazy.
I don't mind being
at
Bradley
times.
Cooper.
I mean, I personally, I don't smoke a cigar, but I can probably at least look like I'm smoking.
You want one of those bubble pipes. That's the closest you would get.
We didn't
Well,
talk. We didn't
Murdoch-
talk about that.
Murdoch's cigars were like way too long. Like they
well,
were.
Murdoch didn't smoke cigars. Hannibal
Or Hannibal. You know what I meant. But
same
but-
person.
well, only because a couple days ago on BTV, I stumbled across Columbo, and you remember he always had the green cigars, which I always
Uh-huh.
found
Just one more thing.
just
Yeah.
odd that you would just have a green cigar. I don't know.
They may make some stand apart like Kojak with the sucker, right?
Well, and I'm also wondering if, obviously, I'm not a cigar connoisseur, but is because Columbo was, a very, very humble person and like didn't have an expensive suit, always had that raincoat on. Is a green cigar like cheaper than a brown cigar, or
Oh,
I don't know.
couldn't tell you, man.
yeah.
Well,
Dan, you want to weigh in on
yeah,
this?
yeah, Dan, you smoke cigars.
Come on,
Oh,
Dan.
yeah.
I thought both you guys used to smoke.
You know
Well,
me.
yeah, cigarettes.
Oh, sorry.
Cigars
Yeah.
is a bit.
It's a pretty big jump. Well, and I heard it explained that the difference is time, because with
Oh.
a cigar,
Yeah.
you're pretty much saying, I'm not doing anything or going anywhere for probably like an hour or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
wanna
just
sit
sitting
down
there.
and enjoy.
Yeah.
Well,
With a
also-
cigarette, you're done pretty
Also,
quick.
it seems like, at least based off of movies, cigars. You seem like really, really wealthy people smoke cigars because they had nothing but time and money on their hands.
Maybe that's it.
Or gangsters because they had nothing but time. They let their henchmen do the dirty work. You just
Mhm.
sit there, be like, Whew, good thing
Yeah.
I'm famous and smoking cigars.
Oh,
Always
'cause that's
gnawing
what-
on the cigar.
You can tell because I've been so experienced in this
in the
field.
old movies, they would talk with the cigar in their mouth, but like I don't
Yeah.
think it was ever lit. Like it was just a part of their
It was
face.
it was part. It was like a prop.
Yeah.
So you just gotta learn how to. You gotta learn how to articulate.
I tried that
You
one.
know.
So in the For a Few Dollars More and Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, like Clint Eastwood cigars that's an actual brand called Backwoods cigars, and they're like
Mm.
Oh,
they're not a perfect cigar, and they come in a pouch, which is kind of weird. But
I'm
tried.
learning so much today.
Yeah.
about cigars.
But basically, that's it. I mean, it's a terrible cigar.
Okay, so bringing it back around to movies.
Please do.
I know, totally
Please do.
rabbit trail. So, okay, so the next movie is a very popular one. Everyone's probably seen it, Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
So you've got Dorothy, Tin Man, Lion, and the Scarecrow, but you also have some
I get to be
extra
Toto.
bonus characters. I was going to say that your extra bonus characters. You've got Toto, the Witch, and the Wizard. So,
Ooh,
Oh.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
so obviously Dan just got dibs on that really quick. My favorite has always been the Tin Man. I
Yeah?
love the Tin
I like
Man.
the Tin Man. Yeah.
And so I had the Tin Man is me, Sarah's Dorothy. I'm
Okay.
sure. Yeah, you get to be Judy Garland, so
That's
you
true.
shouldn't.
I get to kill witches without realizing
say,
it.
and I
so.
had Alan as the Scarecrow.
I always like the
Slash the Lion though, because
Yeah,
you're both the same person in my mind.
yeah. I can't remember. It was
the cowardly scarecrow.
well, the way that the lion would like if I was king of the forest. You remember? And I would like roll that in my throat, and for some reason, my mom always enjoyed it.
I do that too with my mom.
Yeah?
yeah, I do the lion.
If I were king of the forest.
I can't believe we just all did that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I feel like
Actually,
we
no.
just bonded just
Uh-huh.
now.
we did.
Yeah,
Is that what you would do? Dances you wanted to be Toto? You just sit there and bark at people, be like, "I'm fighting my inner," you know. I mean, the cool. Yeah, I mean, because I guess Toto's character, like, I guess I would be
Toto's the
appropriate.
unsung hero.
He's the fearless one. He's the one. I'm going to go save Dorothy. You know, jumping over into the drawbridge and
uh-huh.
barking.
He also had a
and-
really high tolerance. Wasn't he the only one that didn't succumb to the poppy field?
oh
Right.
That's true.
Oh, I don't.
oh drat. Now I'm blanking out.
It's a good question. I've never been a big fan of Wizard of Oz, so I mean, I've only
What?
seen it a handful of times.
Have you done the Dark Side of Oz?
Wait.
He'd be the
Wicked?
flying monkey. Oh my gosh! I think they might be one of the flying monkeys.
Uh,
I can do that.
yeah, actually, I'm okay with this casting.
Yeah.
Of him being the monkey.
So,
Alright.
so
Actually,
basically,
I'm switching it up. I'm going to be the wizard. You know, behind the scenes, just like kind of like
The one who's
whatever.
lying to all of Oz and pretending
Yeah,
to
exactly.
be when he's not.
The
Yeah.
longer this podcast is going to go, the more Dan's going to come up with a different. You know what? Actually, I'm
Dorothy. I've
That's
always wanted to wear a dress. and
I'm
have to-
anti-M. That's what I do. I'm anti-M, and I'm the anti.
Okay, can we all agree Dorothy's family is like the worst?
they are the worst.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't know, like Dorothy was trying to talk to them and they were just completely ignoring her. Like,
They had work to do, and she wasn't doing anything.
I think. Well, I think it's one of those give and take on both sides, right? I mean, also, and maybe it's just me. You know, when the tornado actually did come, you know,
they didn't even know she was missing. They locked her out of the cellar.
Well, Auntie M called out Dorothy's name a couple times. They're like, well, I guess she's gone, and they just go and lock
No,
themselves.
they had to pull Auntie M. Like she wanted to stay out. They had to grab her and pull her in.
I'm trying. Maybe in the book, I don't remember that in the movie.
okay,
yeah.
well, if we're doing the book is totally different.
Oh,
than the
totally
film.
different.
The book
Yeah,
is
So
kinda,
I don't know
Yeah.
if we want to branch off into
you
that.
probably
but-
shouldn't.
So my next question, if we're
Okay.
still talking about movies,
Let's.
yeah, which actor do you think would be able to play you off the
Oh.
top of your head? Don't think too hard.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's go around and see who would play who. Who wants to
Okay.
start?
Oh, see, this is hard because I don't know anybody. There's
Okay,
no.
Sarah's gonna give us all classic movie stars.
I know, I know.
But for everyone else, okay, who wants to go first? Dan, you want to go?
I'll go first. So
Okay.
when I was younger, my cousins used to tease me, and they used to tell me that I reminded them of a particular actor. So if
Okay.
it's any actor from any era, right, at any age, I'm gonna go with Daniel Stern.
Oh yeah.
It's only because it has Dan in
I
it.
love it.
You're on. That was on my list.
Mauve. What are
Oh
you
my
doing,
gosh.
Mauve?
That was on my list
Harry,
for you, Dan. That's
hold
so funny.
Still.
Mauve.
I just figured just because his name is Dan, it's like, oh, I have a connection.
No, because
I
I was
love Dan
watching
Stern.
that this past Christmas, and I was thinking about this episode because I knew we were going to talk about it. And watching it, I was like, oh my gosh. I think because Dan was the last person I had. I had a movie star for everybody except Dan. And when I was watching that movie, I was like, I found it.
Yeah,
That's him. Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. We were on the same lane. Okay. So Dan, continue. So you got yourself. Do you have
Yep.
any for the three of us?
Let me
Who would you think?
See, I don't have anything.
I don't know. Everybody pick somebody else and then come back to me.
This one's the hard part, right? Because
Okay.
you don't want, you're like, I got a good idea, but it could offend.
Oh, well, actually, I know who you would be, Alan.
Oh, really?
Because me and Charity watch Home Improvement a lot. You're definitely Al Borland.
Oh, Al Borland, I'd take
You're
that.
definitely
I
Al
think
Borland
we-
from Home Improvement.
I think we said that when we first met you because you came in, you had your
The
beard,
plaid.
and you were wearing like the lumberjack
Yeah.
plaid shirt. And I think we called you Al like the first
Yeah.
week we met you.
Very pragmatic, serious all the time.
Your name is Al.
Never joke around. Never. My name is Al, and I'm always helping people get out of jams that they put themselves in.
He's saying that he's been very facetious. About
He's saying that like that's another character that we don't know about.
I was similarly, I think for myself, I was gonna pick Nick Offerman, which is kind of similar.
I can see that. I can see that.
For you, okay, because I'm
okay.
a We Bear Bears fan.
Oh yeah.
Are you? Oh, Grizz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eric Edelstein. Like, just, I remember when I first watched We Bear Bears, and like, I was thinking about people who, this is what I do sometimes when I watch.
I do stuff like that.
I put my friends in the movies, but I was like, I could see Alan playing that. Like, I think if he ever died or something, like, you could. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said it like that.
Wow.
But you could. You
Charity
could step
always
in
tends
fairly
to
easy.
bring that into the
If you ever died, thanks.
Okay, Dan, I will say my backup for you, if you didn't like who we originally picked, for some reason I said Michael Caine. I
Oh,
I
that's
don't
a good
know.
Oh,
That's a
I
good
don't
one.
know if you agree or disagree with that, but that was my backup for you.
I can totally see that.
Yeah. What do you think, Dan?
I mean, I'd probably do a terrible British accent, but I could definitely buttle for Bruce Wayne.
That's right.
Okay, Sarah, for you, I had Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes. Minus the foul language.
That's true. That's true. Okay, keep in mind when I did this, like I said, I was trying not to think too hard.
Okay.
And I picked the first person at random. I didn't like dive deep into this. So those were my top sort of
These ones?
people.
No, the only one I can think of would be Groucho Marx, which is
Yeah.
not a woman, nor is he black. But
That's okay. Well, like I said, you were going to pick classic people anyway.
Yeah.
yeah, so okay, so now you've critiqued everybody else. Who would you be, and who do we think you should be?
Okay. The only person that came to mind, I was trying to think of black females. I said Queen Latifah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
can see that.
Okay. Wow. I'm surprised. I was expecting more flack, at least from you, Sarah.
Well, no, because I always told Charity her character is Lucy Van Pelt from Charlie Brown.
Mine
Charity-
was the bullying. I wouldn't have bullied Charlie Brown.
Charity can fit the creased eyebrows, the fuss budget, the
willing to listen to other people's problems and then
well,
Get
okay,
money for it?
get money for it.
always trying to make a quick buck. That's
Mhm.
Charity.
I would charge more than a nickel. I will fault Lucy for that. She
That
needs
sweet,
to
sweet
upsell.
sound of nickels.
Snickles. so Charity's a two-dimensional cartoon character with black hair and a blue dress
Uh-huh.
that sits on the edge of pianos.
Yeah.
I will say what I do have in common with Lucy is that I do love a musician. I like if you play guitar, that immediately shoots you up about 10 points.
Uh-huh.
You could be ugly as anything, but if you're a musician, I will consider you as a
Oh wow.
because I'm shallow, apparently.
Wow. Okay.
It's like, I
Okay.
thought he was terrible, but he picked up that guitar. He now looks attractive.
Okay, but men with either musicians, children, or dogs, like they're immediately more attractive. And we have rabbit trailed so far from this. I'm a horrible moderator. Anyway, before we wrap this up, getting back to the movies. Okay, so if our podcast was a film, what genre do you think we would be best in? So you've got like horror movies, you've got romance, which wouldn't work because half of you guys are married, but you've got
we're kind of
mystery.
are we first before we decide the genre? Are we G-rated or are we PG? We delve into some adult themes, but not
Yeah.
that often.
I mean, PG's still all right. Like,
yeah. Okay.
I mean,
PG people would put PG on like crude humor. So like Home Alone is probably
Probably
but
is
it's-
now. I don't know if
think
it
it
was.
is.
I don't know if it
Yeah,
was back
but
in
like
the day.
it's
No, I
not
think it is.
it's not like a horrible movie. So like if we
For
were G-rated,
cartoon
we would
violence.
probably be a cartoon. We would be like a Disney Pixar film.
Okay. All right.
And then PG would be something.
Ooh,
that's
Disney
got-
Pixar. I've
some
always,
sort of
that'd be
film.
kind of interesting to see ourselves as some kind of CGI character.
Yeah, and they're pretty forward thinking. They should do something with podcasting. All right, get on that, Pixar.
Yeah,
Disney.
Pixar. and if that's the case, we are going to
Get the
be the
mouse
four
on it.
main characters in your film
That's right.
because
We'll
this is
voice
our
it.
idea.
That has been one of my dreams for the longest time. I would love to do because like everybody's had that, I would love to be an actor and be in Hollywood. Like
Sure.
that thought's crossed my mind.
Mhm.
But even when I was little, I probably because we grew up listening to radio shows and all that
Mhm.
stuff, I think I would prefer to be a voice for a cartoon character. I think that would be so much fun. I would love to do that.
Okay.
So, speaking of genre, I'm going to bring it back around to something that you mentioned at the beginning of the show, a John Hughes comedy.
Yes. Absolutely.
Mm.
That's the
Absolutely.
genre I'm
in
going
Chicago or the suburbs of Chicago.
with.
Oh, you're going to make us some kind of inner city beginnings? And
No,
work
that's
our way?
that's just John Hughes. It was always Midwest,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
Uncle Buck.
He did Sherman, Illinois.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I can kind of see that. I would kind of be curious how our backstories would go, where we have these different lifestyles, and we all come together to do some kind of
In detention.
zany.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Saturday.
We got to get in trouble. We got to form a heist.
The thing, see, I kind of thought about that because I figure if the four of us as ourselves were to be in a film,
Uh huh.
it would definitely be something that can't be taken seriously. Just me as a person, I can't see ourselves doing something that has a lot of pathos.
Would it? So
like
would
a
it be
murder
like
by
a
death film, sort of?
I think we would either be part of a parody or
Yeah,
some kind of
parody, yeah.
satirical film.
like a Johnny English? kind
Yeah,
of,
or
Yeah.
I feel like the four of us, it would be some kind of weird, almost like Scooby Doo kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
another good one to compare.
yeah, because I thought, okay, so nobody with charity would get this. There's a Red Skelton movie. The
You guys talk amongst
Yeah,
yourselves.
talk among
We're
yourselves.
gonna have a
I guess.
moment.
okay, so Red Skelton did the series of movies where he was a radio star,
Uh-huh.
and his character inadvertently found himself in situations where he had to solve his own crimes versus the crime that he had in his radio show.
Yeah.
So I feel like we would do something like this. We, as ourselves, would be podcasters like we are now. But somehow the plot would happen where, for some reason, the only way this crime could be solved was by us, the podcasters, because they think what we're doing is the real thing. The thing is with Red Skelton, I think his character was the wolf or something like that would solve these murder mysteries. Someone thought that he was an actual detective and he wanted them to solve an actual murder. And then he has to go and do that. So I feel like we would be in a situation like that. We as podcasters would be doing something like that. We make a joke about solving a mystery. Somebody would be like, oh, they can solve the mystery of my missing grandmother. We don't know where she went. You guys are on the case.
Yeah.
So
And we-
that's sort of like
That would
War
never
of the
work.
Worlds where they thought it was
I
accidentally real.
couldn't solve anything. I can't even figure out
Well,
who took the last Pop Tart.
Well, that's why that's why it would take all four of us, because I don't know if either one of us independently would be capable of doing this. But there
I
has
see.
But there has to be a situation where we all get in an argument and we all go our separate ways, and we're like, forget this, I'll do this on my own. And we all have that
And we all have 4 separate pieces of the map, but then we all have to come
go
together.
together
Yeah.
and join.
That's
Everyone
kind
had
of
the
what was
treasure.
that?
Yeah,
That was,
pretty much.
I think there was a Robert Redford movie. Was it Sneakers? Where they were? I don't know if they were
I'm trying to
Private
remember.
Eyes or I got to watch it again. But it was kind of like that.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen that one.
I don't think I've
Sneakers?
seen that.
Oh, that's
one.
a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, but our characters would do something like that, and we would bumble our way to actually finding the culprit.
Yeah.
And then all is happy in the world in the last 5 minutes of the movie.
You see, that would have been because I love mysteries, so
Mhm.
that was my automatic like movie genre. If
Yeah.
the 4 of us had to solve a mystery of some sort, but I would love to. I know we don't fit this. I would love to be in one of those like Miss Marple
Oh yeah.
sort of BBC dramas.
Oh, yeah.
and to be in that film just because I love
well, and later
British dramas.
and later on in this series, we will be talking about mysteries and suspense. So we'll definitely go into more detail about that.
Okay.
So, let's go ahead and sign our autographs now. We'll get a little star on the Walk of Fame. Start handing out our glossies to everybody.
Is that what movie stars do?
It is. Yeah, they just keep a trunk of glossies, gloss in the trunk of their car. Be like, I'm famous, right?
Well,
So,
that
yeah.
wraps up today's episode. If we, as a podcast, were movies or actors in a movie. I know we rabbit trailed a lot, but I think we may have narrowed it down. Who knows? Maybe we can make a movie one day once the podcast is
Let's
over.
do it.
Oh, I'm down.
Yeah. So until then, we will sign off. Thanks for listening to our podcast today. Thanks for listening to today's episode. You can find other episodes on doublestuffpod.com or on your favorite podcast apps. You can also participate in the fun on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Double Stuff Podcast and on Twitter at Double Stuff P. That's the letter P.